So today's topic is 202, 225 cyber incidents and 226 lessons. So what every IT team must fix now. So we will go through a few, I group a few uh, incidents or major issue we find in last year, and then find out some solutions for us. So yeah, let's get started.
Question. Will you share the slide?
Yeah, always.
Okay,
Yeah,
thanks.
yeah. I can share you how to I make it later. We can discuss. Yeah, fully AI and automated. So anyway, so this workshop we will talk about 225 instance with some major events, news that you may heard of, refresh your memory, and bring out why those breach happens. Is that involve exploits or identity, whatever, and how to respond and those damages. So the main frame of 225 threats realities is, of course, attackers bypass perimeter defense. And second point is something relatively new compared with 224 or previous years is start to have many legitimate accounts or credentials being misused. So they don't break it in, they simply log it in to your system, platform, or clouds. So breach becomes undetected for a long period of time because they're making use of a legitimate account. It looks like just you and me, but extra view stealing data or create some undesirable configurations. So lesson one, Snowflake, the attack path. So it is a identity attack. So which is steal many customer data and use a stolen credential, as I mentioned. So there's no malware, no exploit, no vulnerabilities. Simply use your account and bypass that account is not turning on MFA. But frankly speaking, even you turning on MFA, there is still many tactics for attackers to bypass or replay your MFA tokens. So MFA is essential, but not able to complete you to protect you completely. So MFA become a must, but not enough. So this case is a direct access to all those sensitive customer data, stealing them, and etc. So what this matter is, as I said, the attackers doesn't break in, they log in. Okay, so for identity protection is crucial, and in this case they fail. Not just simply because they don't have MFA or protection. Of course, that case they don't have an MFA tunnel. But like I said, even they turn on the MFA, if they don't have enough monitoring and federations, collaborations of all those accounts, our assets or logs, that will still happen in coming year. So lesson two, we should assume a breach is mandatory. So the UNC 3886 APT campaign, you should heard about that, is really focused on targeting Singapore critical infrastructure, and they will try to do some catastrophic attack, destroy. So the point is, they find that some advanced attack is operate in those critical infrastructures environments without any detection for certain period of time. They simply using legitimate admin tools and credentials, and traditional security tools rise a little bit alerts or even no alerts, because similar to lesson one, they use legitimate accounts. But this point is they're targeting critical infrastructures. And they compromise the network and administration's tools for a long period of time without any detection. So when they really want to launch a attack, that can be a disaster. So that's why the government voice out, or everyone take a look, find out is there any hidden Trojan, is there any footprint that someone is sneaking in your network. I would say we don't see any disaster at the end of the year, right? It's the middle of year we found that. So luckily, our utilities companies and government officials, they do take actions after there's a warning sign, and luckily there's nothing bad happens. But story never ends, because this time is U blah blah blah, next time is K blah blah blah, next time is C blah blah blah. It never ends, because hackers, attackers, no matter because of military benefits or political reasons, they never stops. Okay, especially if you are hosting a high-profile company, critical infrastructure, you should assume that breach is there. You have to find out some way to detect and monitor as soon as possible. Lesson 3 is repeating. Perimeter defense is not enough. Well, this one is a little bit scary. There's an aeration application system experiencing disrupt operations. It is I think it's one of the software become compromised, and they result in some online airport check-in. It's not Singapore actually, but it happens last year. And simply because they very rely on the firewall, they don't have much monitoring and protection of those aeration systems. So once someone leak into one of the PC or server, lateral movement can compromise those critical servers, and things getting worse. So zero trust architecture is one of the points that we should think about. We should not trust any network, any endpoints, and any users. It's not because they are really bad. It's because you never know, are they really the one you know them, right? Stolen credentials, compromised computers. So internal system must be monitored like external threats, because they can penetrate. And lateral movement is really common. Zero trust architecture should be applied everywhere. Yeah. This doesn't mean that you have to implement all those metrics or tactics, but the concept has to be applied. Yeah. Never trust any single piece of software, credential, machine, and network. So we should monitor, authenticate, list privilege, anything. That's the essence of the lesson 3 actually. So lesson 4 is about supply chain attack. So the supply chain equals your risk. There's a report from CSA last year, the year before, or last year, 2024 to 2025. So they mentioned there's many large corporations in Singapore. They did not bring breach or the attack directly, but they still being penetrated. It's not because they didn't do very well on their protection, but their suppliers, their vendors, software companies, having vulnerabilities, leakage, breach, that brain breach, or the certificate being stolen to sign their malware as a legitimate updates, then penetrate to their system. So you can go to this report. You just search the CSA 2024, 2045. You should able to find this report. I do think it's worth to read, but a little bit late. But you can read it later this year. I think we'll have a 2025, 2026 copy. But anyway, here we mention about is the supply chain attack. So the software vendors being compromised. I think last year didn't have a very iconic one, but I think it's the what's the name? I forgot the name. Anyway, there's a one vendor, their certificate being compromised and sign the updates and shipped to the end users, and the document asks the user Asawin. Yeah. Anyway, so they asked you to exclude all those executable from your AV, so it creates lots of problems. It's something similar, but we do see more and more similar attack because attackers find this is more effective and more easy to penetrate to their targets because larger corporation, they have more budgets, there are more human resources to do monitoring and protection. But there's still some loophole, which is the supply chain attack. So your security posture is not only the things you install, or not what you did on the defense, but also include your vendors, and it is as strong as your weakest supplier. So each vendor should be assessed before purchase, and we should give them limited permissions and always monitoring and logging them. It is strongly disagree to exclude everything on those folders, let them execute anything, do it what they want. It's not recommend. At least you can exclude. You can not detecting them by AV, but you should logging them by like ADR or their own audit logs. All those more activities should be monitored, and then you can further filter and find out is there suspicious activities for those software or your third-party vendors. So third-party risk is no longer optional. It is built in already. So every vendor should be monitored and take a look and assess them. Lesson 5, this is still there, ransomware. But we start to revisit the damage of the ransomware. Initially, we talk about backup, decryption, encryption, and whatever. But now we find that even we have backup, even we have protection. Well, sometimes they still penetrate and then encrypt some more software. When you try to restore the system, you find that the impact still there, even you have backup, because it takes times, and it's sometimes it's difficult to find a good copy, because for example you have they penetrate and start to encrypt some not that frequently used file for like a 3 months, 6 months, even 9 months, but your retention period only have 6 months. That means you sometimes will lose your data, even you have a backup. So we should revisit how we fight against ransomware. We shouldn't stop after we're having a backup and able to restore them. We should revisit how we can retain it, minimize the impact to your organizations. Need not to say about the reputation, about the customer, how they think, how is disrupt your operation, material loss, or paying ransom, or other. There's a few there are a few cases. Even the organization is having a backup and able to restore, they still choose to pay the ransom to restore their system because it takes time to restore. Yeah, so it is just and do the math and choose what you react. But having a backup always give you a choice, right? So don't forget the backup, but think more and think one step further. How should we should think about ransomware? What's the impact in case they compromise your major system or secondary platform that you may not have long retention enough. So downtime hurts more than data loss. And recovery times do matters, and how we can restore and testing the response plan is critical. And the user training is also crucial because in many cases, there should be some front-end staff to spot the ransomware. Whether they choose to go to lunch and come back to see is it work again, or they report immediately. That can be a 5% encryption or 100% encryption differences, because encryption is very fast, computer is very fast, algorithm is very good. So user training is also important to reduce the impact. Not just teaching them to retain or whatever, just teach them to report is important. So last one, we should assume data extrafusion will happen because we assume attackers will get in. We assume attacker can get your credential. We assume that we hopefully we can respond very fast. But we should put some milestone or put some thing that even they store data, they should be in an encrypted format. Then they will lower the damage in case there's really put it online or selling in the dark web. So data protection is coming back and very important, especially those sensitive data. I'm not talking about the data when you transmit. I'm talking about the data when you're at rest, putting your hard drive, your cloud drive, your share folders, servers. Database encryption is another story. You can turn it on anytime, but many people doesn't choose to turn it on because of the CPU is higher, the cost is higher. But still strongly recommend to revisit it. So data protect itself is also important because we assume data breach will happen. So if you have a data encrypted, you have the portion of peace of mind that data is less likely being abused, even is taken away, but it is an encrypted format. So this lesson 6 that from 2 to 5. Many things is interconnected, but different angle and different protection that we can think of. So let's go to solutions. So I will quickly introduce a few solutions from us, and I will do a short demo. It won't be long because it will take too many times. If you have interest, you can come to us. We can arrange another time to give you a more in-depth discussion and demonstration of solutions. So first one is Jump Cloud, so which is a cloud IAM. So what they do, they help you to identify the user and device in a centralized way, provide strong MFA, and we can trust and control device. For example, this is our device. We have the Jump Cloud clients, and we authenticate this and that user can log in. If this is not that user, you cannot. Okay, even you have the credential. So that's the major difference for many. And simply say AD. Most of people you can do this configuration, but there's an extra step. That's not that much people do. But for Jump Cloud is another way around. If you don't provision the user to that device, they cannot log in. Okay. So we have provide an identity-aware access, which is a zero trust architecture. So it helps to resolve the stolen credentials, excessive user access, and network abuse, and attempts. So we lesson learned, we solve the lesson 1 identity, and lesson 3 the perimeter defense is not enough. So let me show you a little bit how it works. Yeah. So yes, as expected. So I'm using other product we are selling is called NordPass, which is enterprise. Sorry, I got my phone here, which is a password manager. This is Zhongkao. Go say. Oh, sorry. Say some. You see that? This is a MSP one. Let's log into one of the testing organization. So Zhongkao is a integrate credential and IAM platform. So you can integrate with different cloud directory with some management. Yep. So first of all, you can create your own user, which is only on Zhongkao. Okay, or you can integrate with your Active Directory, your cloud directory, or other identity providers. For example, I have maybe we have some user from Google Workspace, some user from Azure, maybe they're free tenant that you can all integrate into Zhongkao. Then you can control your device. Then you install our agent. Then we support Mac, Windows, Linux, iOS, Android. So you can use those credentials to log in all those platforms. So you may have some device with AD as control or with the AD. It doesn't matter. Now you can switch to Zhongkao. We can integrate. In many cases, we will see that even customers have an Active Directory. They claim they have very good control, many integration there, but they still have many roaming users without any control and protection. So having Zhongkao, because we're a cloud directory, so we can be logged in from anywhere, anytime. So you just integrate, log it, install the agent, and then we to take the control of the access. Then you can monitor the activities. And we are not just integrate with your PC and device. We also can do the single sign-on and many others integrations. For example, you can integrate with Box.com, Azure, Google Cloud, or even in another way, you can use Zhongkao credential to log in M365 platform, Google Workspace, and legacy like NAS through LDAP, VPN radius. So all those access, okay, as long as you need to authenticate, you can integrate with Zhongkao, and then we can have a very good insight. So we will know who, when, where did what on your accounts. Let me last 90 days any access. Yeah. So you'll see who did what when, and you can have a more integrated monitoring for all your access. I do mean all, right? So from your desktop, your laptop, your web console, web platform, third-party SaaS applications, NAS, VPN, or your Wi-Fi, NAC, all can be integrated and being monitored on Zhongkao. so you can have a better insight to monitor and know what's going on, and you can apply policy to have a least privilege, not just limit the user who can log into which device, but also applications. So it helps you to speed up or simplify your onboarding, switching departments, or offboarding. So leftover account is one of the superstar for a credential takeover, because no one care, no one using it, but still there. So even the password being changed, no one knows. So having a integrated platform to monitor all your assets is the first step to first step of protection in coming year. It need not to be jump cloud. You can use like Google, you can use Azure, but you will find some short weakness or functionality shortage for those platforms. Maybe you cannot integrate with NAS. Maybe you cannot integrate with some of your on-prem VPN server, but jump cloud can do all of them. Yeah, they're already there. Two-way sync, one-way sync, federation, it can be done. And we also support, if after you install the agent, you have some software assets or patching, simple patching, simple command management on those platforms. So you can save some of your time. So this is jump cloud, okay? So let's go back to the slide. Yep. So next is Sakura. So jump cloud is more or less is for the user access, okay? Normal end users using their laptop, desktop. But if talk about servers, network device, network equipments, critical device, and software, we have other software to do the admin access. So which is privilege as access management. Previously it called Center Sakura. Now we simplify the name called Sakura, okay, which is not English actually. It means secure password. So it is a PAM tools that help you to control and audit all the privilege access, limit the administrative accounts. Even we can limit the command when to access. We have a time binding and approval process, which is not available for end users because it's not realistic to approval every user access to their own computer or their SaaS application. But for administrator access, that's a reasonable. So we can have a session recording and also approval process for those administrative access. And we resolve the also resolve the identity abuse, and also we help to mitigate the supply chain and third-party risk, because nowadays we do lots of outsourcing. For example, we may have some server that's managed by third party that we may create a remote access, SSH, RDP, VPN, whatever to those third party. But if we don't have PAM, we're seldom able to do a full audit what they did and no recording. So that will be a big point. And sometimes we have no choice to give them administrative access, right? Because they need administrative access to do their job. They change the firewall rules, must be administrative, right? But we can monitor logging them what they did and limit them. For example, okay, some of the command you shouldn't do. Even you have a root access to your Linux server, you cannot change password, you cannot change my IP address, right? That can reduce lots of problems and risk. So that's a PAM solution we should consider and integrate to our system. So let me give you a quick demo, a very simple one. This is hosts on one of the laptop. Yeah. So Sakura is a integrated virtual machine. We have lots of functional features. So the PAM core is our core features to handle administrative access. We also have like a certificate management. I just read news. The Logitech mouse having problem with Mac computers recently. You know why? Because their company's certificate expired on Apple. Then the driver become not legitimate. So the driver can be low, so the mouse become weird. Maybe it can move, can point, but those shortcut key all that. So one of the function is however is a certificate manager. We discover certificates, we monitor, we have API to renew for you. Most important, we have integration to help you to provision. Nowadays, we are not talking about like a 10 fixed IP server. We talk about that ops. We have 40K, 50K, 100K of Dockers and temporary servers that still using certificate. So how can we provision those certificates to all those permanent or temp server or level device become more and more complex. So we have modules to help you to provision those renewed certificate. So one of the modules, and we also take care about the application tokens. One of the trend, as I said, there's logging in, right? Hackers logging in, but not necessary logging in user username password, but API tokens, which is more troublesome because it is always fixed, okay, or usually fixed. It's heading there, giving you administrative access. It actually virtually is a username password, but much longer. But you give it enough time, they still able to breaking in. So if I'm not sure if you notice, now most of the public cloud platform will keep warning you, hey, don't use token, don't use SS key, don't generate that token, because we sometimes we open API access to do some anything, but they have limited control on that. Once they get the token, they will have admin access. So we just suggest you to use any way around, but still many people using it. So so this DevOps Security Manager helps you to monitor, rotate, and manage those application tokens. So that will be much more secure, no matter you are using public cloud tokens or your DevOps operation in between, like the application to the database or application to application, they have to authenticate each other. That creates lots of access windows. That means attack surface. So using those and hard coding is a very common, So using these tools can help you to manage those application credentials. The other is minor tools. I don't mention too much. So if you are end user or the administrator, so let me show you the desktop. So after you log in, you go to home page. Sorry. Password is expired. Section expired. Let me try to log in again. I don't want to use physical token actually. Yeah, I can use a single token to, or 2 or 3 tokens to access every person. MFA is very clumsy. Okay. It should be this one. Give me a second. So if I'm a user login, I can see this credential I can use. Then I'm not sure it's there. I don't think it's there. So I click, then we will start a remote section or SSH or whatever. That server is off anyway. So in backend, the password will be encrypted in our password vault. We have a mechanism to rotate. So user just log in the end user access, and all the activity will be logged, being monitored, and being recorded. So it's good for all the administrators and outsourcers. Okay, you can record, you can limit the access, you can find out, and we have some AI capability to detect like by abnormal behavior, like the time, the duration, even the keystroke. Then we will find out is there some suspicious activities. We not just rotate your password. We help you to rotate your tokens or SSH keys. That like if you have a public cloud, there's lots of SSH tokens that is usually always fixed, which is not recommended. Also, you should also rotate them like 30 days, whatever. So this is a Sakura, a PAM solutions, which is easy to use, cost effective, and easy to configure. Yeah, so this is PAM. Next is about ESET. Okay, so something new. ESET will release the MDR service mid of this month. Yeah, there will be an official launch. Previously, they don't offer in APAC. So now the first highlight is Australia and Singapore, I think. Yeah, so Singapore will have MDR package available mid of this month. So integrating with EDR platform. So EDR help you to monitor all your activities of your endpoints, server, and the MDR, they will help you to handle those events on detections in case of really something bad happens or someone try to penetrate you, and then we find you have some loophole. We will notify you, give you remediation instructions, and how to and of course some of them we can do automate remediations, because EDR can simply block or remove some of the executable easily with the console and help you to contain them before it's a widespread on that. So it helps you to identify is there any breaches happens or reduce the ransomware impact, because even they can penetrate and attack, we can find it out sooner or later and then stop them before have a widespread of attacks. So let's take a look on the inspect console. Well, there will be an update also later this month, but most of them should be similar. So most of you may familiar with the ESET Protect console, but may not very familiar with the ESET Inspect console, which is our EDR management platform. So we will integrate with your directory of the ESET Protect, so it will synchronize. Like go to my lab, we have a computer having problems. We can take a look. Then we can go to information. So maybe we found 2 threats there. Let's see what is detect. Executables and alerts. But anyway, that's lots of detection and incidents. That okay, if you do it yourself, because you have to reason, understand all those multi-data frameworks. So there's an ingress tools transfer, there's a command script, there's a PowerShell running. There is, what is this actually? Opener. Okay, there's a web opener actually. Yeah, so you understand that? So if you have resources to do such kind of monitoring, that's fine. If you don't, now you have an option to buy an MDR package from ESET, which is, I saw the pricing, I won't say it's very cheap, but very competitive, very competitive compared with those major MDR vendors, third-party MDR vendors. So yeah, we will give you more information when those ready for Singapore. We still waiting some of the marketing stuff from vendors. So we will have an official notice. If you're in the group, that you will receive that. No worries. So anyway, this is the EDR platform that I think is pretty mature from ESET. It's running over almost 10 years already. Yeah, is quite many years. And the next version will be more clean for this interface. It's much more easy, and they finally give you the playback functions. So you will see what's happened first, and the next, and then the end to the end. Now you have to reason that by yourself or by timeline, but you know, not always helpful on the timeline. But anyway, that is quite a good improvement on that. Yeah, so this is the ESET Inspect, which is EDR. EDR nowadays, I would also say it is become necessary for many organizations. In case you, because there's we will never able to block all those attacks. Then when there's something comes in, the first question we will say, how can we stop that, right? The second question is, how does it get in? Where it comes from, right? Because if you got antivirus, or even you got a DLP, okay, you find that the data breach is from this computer, from this software, or this malware, or this Trojan, okay, or this user access, or these RDP sections. But how and why? Then you need a ADR to reason, to find out, to trace back what's happened, right? Because there's involved many activities, which is not directly about the malware, but about like maybe an Outlook, right? Maybe from your browser, or maybe from others, FTP, but most of them email and website, right? So which website, which email, which attachment create those Trojan, and then what's the attaching, how they move within your environment. You have to have a EDR solution to help you to record them. Then you have a chance to find it out. So EDR will become essential if you want to enhance your defense. Second us is about Greylock. It's a SIEM platform, also a log management system. Okay, so help you to collect logs from endpoint like Jump Cloud, or whatever network device application, and helps you to integrate those logs and create detection to find out like any natural movement, any abuse, attack, any signs of abnormality, user behavior detection. So it's help you to eliminate, try to eliminate all your blind spot from your existing defense or security solutions. So we assume breach, but we need something to monitor. But it is not possible for any single person to log in to see all the logs and then reason them cross-platform. So we have an integrated platform to collect all the logs, create the create some create some rules and detections, reason them to some threat hunting and tracing is designed. Okay, so it also collect logs from the cloud, so you can integrate your public cloud or your M365 logs or cloud mail logs, SaaS application logs. So it do helps to reasons and to find out problems, and it do much faster, much more efficient than you rely on a single detection vector, like just rely on the endpoints. Because for endpoints, you have a large amount of detections. Something happened on your public cloud, your SaaS, you need something to integrate to know. So let's take a look for the Jump Cloud. This is a very new testing platform I create. It doesn't have much logs. Let's take a look. Is that more 5 days? So I integrate, I think it's just ESET protect. So I will see all of those activities like some admin activities, all these activities. I think there's some alerts there. Library. Yes, inspect alert. So we'll find there's one computer. They use the splash top to run some command. Yeah. So I will find this. Of course, this is just a first step. I collect logs from ESET, and then I will collect logs from like Google, Azure, and then create some rules to reason them, and then create some dashboard to have some detection and rules and others. Size? Yeah. 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 Here. All messages. Yeah. So we start to have some logs here. Oh, sorry. I forgot to switch. Yeah. Do you see it? Okay. So this is the console. So have the logs from like 5 days. Then I have some, this all the events from ESET. I just put it in, and I will create some rules to normalize if fails. There is some out of the box package to help you to do that. But as an internal training purpose, I try to do it myself with some rules. But you can use, they have something called enterprise tools called eliminations, which is a package. So we understand all the like logs from like a 40 gauge and create dashboard for you. You need not to do it myself. But for self-training purpose, I try to do it myself. So all those logs, you will see this from which system. This is application for our internal system. This is ESET, and there's a source. This all this dashboard can be created you can either create yourself or use the package from the system. So you will be, for example, if using FortiGate, there will be a out of the box dashboard and filter rules. You need not to create yourself. And Graylog is integrated with Sigma rules. So even those detection rules, you need not to create by yourself. Which Sigma rules, which is a open source. Let me find it. What is it? Anyway, let me Google it. Graylog rules. Sigma rules.
Check, is there any limit to the number of source that can put inside?
No.
No limit.
No limit. Okay. For Graylog, there are a few versions. One is Greylock Open, which is I'm currently using, which is open source, free. But there's some limitation. For example, they don't have HA deployment, but it's good for me to demo enough. And Greylock Enterprise, which is a enterprise grade log management system that you can create high availability, multiple server, a large volume of logs, and there's a Greylock Security, which on top of those log management and SIM to have some security tool capabilities. So all those input you can create anytime, any way you want. So there's like some AWS ready. Bits is a client for Windows to collect Windows event. CEF is common format. GEF is a Greylock format. Then you got Palo Alto, NetFlow, some Warlock, syslog is most of the network tools. So you can create as much as log you want, and you can route them to the same category or different category. It's very, very flexible. Okay. And it is licensed by log volume per day. Yeah, so number of logs doesn't matter. Number of server doesn't matter. Yeah. Okay, so you can create alerts and dashboard, yeah, anytime you want. So you can create a filter. For example, I want to find out is there login fail for more than 3 times within 5 hours, for example. Then you create this rule that will send you alert, that will send you email, send you SMP trap, or create a webhook to send you SMS, whatever you want. Okay, so this SIEM platform integrate that you can collect all those logs from all your platform, so you can able to monitor and to find out is there some anomaly. The user behavior monitoring is also available from Greylock Security. I don't have this here. Yeah, I will try to show you later with other platform if you're interested. But anyway, this is how look and feel Greylock is used. It is quite straightforward and easy to use. Compare with the others vendors, it's too many applications to do one thing. But anyway, like Splunk, yeah, that's too complex. Yeah. But anyway, there's a Greylock, which is help you to integrate all the logs and monitoring, especially monitor the third-party outsourcers, your vendors, suppliers, SaaS application. You can collect all those logs and integrate to have more full picture of what's going on. Okay, so this is a Greylock.
Because just now I think it was still on the slide.
Oh, you said you didn't see it. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so let's go back ESET. Okay, so this is a ESET Inspect console. So this is detections. Okay, that's what. There's an instant. So we have some rules and correlation rules and AI to help you to organize those detections into incident. Okay, so how ESET Inspect works is we have some built-in rules which aligns with the Mighty Attack framework. In short, is how attackers try to attack. They have a bunch of different tactics and techniques. So we normalize into rules. After we monitor all the activities from your endpoints, we matching those with the rules. But those rules doesn't mean it's really attack. For example, some attack tactics is do some drive-by download and run the installation file. Okay, it sounds as attack, but actually there's something similar for legitimate behavior. So detection doesn't mean a real incident. It just means something happened. It can be good, it can be bad, it can be neutral. Okay, so there's a bunch of detection after we filter with the rules. Then we reasons and organize those detection into incident. So if we highlight them as an incident, it at least you should take a look. It doesn't mean that it is really, really bad, but that you have to take a look. For example, this one is very simple. I just did it in front of you guys. I open the Chrome, and then I go to the web menu opener and launch a application. Okay, it is known and legitimate to me. But in case if the web menu opener is not really from web menu, is from others, or they being a supply chain attack, even they signed by web menu certificate, but it is actually really a web malware, then I will find there's a supply chain attack. Because if you don't use ESET inspect, you will not know this chain from which computer create a Chrome incident, and then Chrome incident call a webinar, and then launch something, install something, download something, right? So that's the value of ESET inspect. How you to help you to find out is there something suspicious, okay? And we tell you what's happened, what's the history, what's going on, and what is changed, what is being executed, okay? Then there's two options. One, you guys can take a look and then remediate, comment it, or mark it as resolved, okay? For me, in this case, I will say it is resolved or closed. This is because it's a true false. This is false positive. We will go to webmanager app. Yeah, save. Okay, this is what I do. Yeah, then we solve our incident. Then you will not see that here anymore. Okay, this internal stuff to use. Then the second option is employ the ESET expertise to help you, which is the MDR service. So they will help you to access your portal, access your incident, do investigation, and help you to filter out. First step, they will help you to filter out those noisy, false positive, and known to be good, no problem. And then start to monitor it. If they find any issues, they will notify you, or even help you to do a remediation before you knowing that or see their message. Okay, so there's the value of MDR. In case they need further investigation, they will try to do threat hunting and threat monitoring based on our platform. Okay, the ESET Inspect platform, because we have all those activities, like all the executable in the site on your site, all the scripts, even all the detections. Let me open your detections, all the details. So we will know how many occurrence of these detections, what are the executable trees, what the file being changed, what the rules, all the details available from ESET Inspect. Okay, it's the tools for security analysts to dig into the problem and to determine it is a attack or not, and what should be done. Okay, so the Inspect is a platform to provide you all sort of data to do the investigation. So either you or ESET to do the investigation for you. It's much further from the malware detections. Because for malware, you will see the orange part. You will not see the above, like this is created by Surface, or this is created from Outlook, or this is created from any other applications or scripts. That's the value of the ESET Inspect. Okay. Sorry, I didn't switch correctly. Okay, let's go back to the last one. So the last one is shield path. So as I mentioned, at the end of the day, we assume that bad guys will able to break in, bad guys to do lateral movement or data extrafusion in a site. So how can we minimize the impact or the damage for those even ransomware or other data extrafusion attack, which is a encryption, the DRM solutions. So we can have a shield path. So we can help you to do a persistent file encryptions. So it can be automated and we can control the access for all those files from the full life cycle. What does it mean? Is from creation and to consumption and usage and before the destruction of the data. Because every data should be destroyed after the retention period. Yeah, to be safe, keeping all data is not a good idea. So it helps you to minimize the impact, even your data being stolen. So let me show you the console, quickly show the console of the, let me log in again, shield path. Yeah, great. So shield path, this is admin console. I will show you the desktop anyway later. So this is the web console. We'll see how much, which file is being mostly accessed, and yeah, and which is, yeah, you see this most access this file, and then we have the history of access. So we'll know, or Jason opened this profile many times. I think it's for demo. So we also can filter by external and internal. So this all this, I think all this internal access. Okay. So slow. Let me create some rules. Come on. Sorry, it's a bit slow. Maybe okay. We don't wait there. We switch to the endpoint. So we can create rules. Let me, yeah, this one. So this rule is for marketing analysis. So this is more or less a sensitive file. So I put two user in full control, this user view only, and JSON in full control. And I can set expiry date. And so any people out of this list, they cannot open that file, okay? And one of the major benefits from Shield Path is if you are using Microsoft Office file or PDF, because you're using MS Office and Adobe Reader, you need not to have any application installed. Then you can open the file. Okay, you just need to have a credential. Then you can use the MS Office or Adobe Reader. Then you can open those encrypted file. So this is much user friendly in case your file may need to send to third party. So this is one of the major benefits. Of course, we have some integration, like we have auto encryption for your folders. We can integrate your OneDrive, your SharePoints, or file server, file putting on that folders or path. It will be automated, encrypted, and we can also integrate like with your other DLP solutions, even M635 DLP rules. We can detect the file header and then do encryptions. So it's fully automated and the file is always being encrypted. And even you put, so it doesn't matter you put on the cloud, you can on OneDrive, you put on Google Drive or any other shares because it's encrypted and you can control and revoke the access anytime you want. So this is the protections. And you can see some statistic like how many users, like 7 it is. So how many files being protected, how many users being open, and you can revoke the access anytime. Just like let me show you. So like for this marketing access rules. So I can remove this one. Then that Gmail account will not able to access this file anymore. Next time they open, it will fail. Okay. How we can do it is it's very simple. We do a PKI encryptions. We store we encrypt the file and we store the key on the server. So we don't store your file, we just store the key. So after you successful login, we'll pass you the key, and then you can use the file. Okay, and there's some mechanism to ensure that each time access you cannot store the key is temporary. So each time you open the file, you have to validate your authentication again. Besides, you give an offline access. There's another story, but you can limit that. Okay, and we also can do watermark. So with this shield path, we can help you to secure your critical files, no matter anytime, anywhere. As long as it's been encrypted, it won't be able to be abused. And even your stuff sent to third party by mistake, the third party is not able to access the file because they are not in the list. Okay, you can put a whole domain, and the whole company from that domain will be able to access, or you can put it one by one. Yeah, it's just up to you. So this you have the full control of your file, how they're being used. You can control read only, write, copy and paste, and print, and watermark, all this. So that's how shield path works. Okay, so let's go back to the slides. So give you a very quick sum up. So most of those breaches in 2025 were preventable, but of course there's some effort and investment. So visibility and identity is critical. So we have a better control and monitor of identity. We have better visibility how the credential being used, how the application computer accounts being used. Then we can fix and minimize those attacks earlier possible. So that's all for today's workshop. Hope can you help you guys. Thank you very much.